Hello, friends, and welcome back to Malicious Compliance Stories. We're kicking things off today with a customer service tale that's equal parts petty and perfect. But before we begin, best way to support our channel is to leave comments, like, and subscribe with the turned-on bell so you don't miss the new video every single day. Here we go. A petty gas station revenge. Working at a gas station in Oregon is its own special kind of adventure. Half our pumps are self-serve and the other half are mini-service, meaning we pump the gas for you but aren't required to do anything extra, like wash windshields. But most of us do it anyway when asked because, hey, a little kindness goes a long way. At least that's what I thought until I met her. She rolls in almost every day driving a beat-up sedan that somehow still manages to look smug, never fills up with more than 5 or 10 worth of gas, which means she's here constantly, and every single time without fail she asks us to wash her windshield. Now, I don't mind doing it for normal people, the regulars who say please and thank you, maybe toss a buck my way for the effort, absolutely. But this woman, she doesn't tip, not once, not ever. And she doesn't ask nicely either. It's always this condescending little demand like she's testing us, like she gets off on making us do pointless tasks just because she can. Last time she came in, it was raining. Not a light drizzle, actual rain. The kind where your wipers are on full blast just to see. And what does she do? Smirks at me and says, "Can you wash my windshield?" I did it because customer service brain is a curse, but the second I finished, I regretted it. Why was I going out of my way for someone who treated me like a servant? Today, she pulled up like she owns the place, hands me a crumpled $9 bill, and gives me that same smug look. "Windshield, please." I force a smile, sure thing. But fate had other plans. By the time I finished pumping her gas, the station has exploded with cars, 8 of them all waiting at the pumps. No way am I leaving the other customers hanging just to buff this lady's already clean windshield. So I walk back over and say, "Sorry, ma'am, it's too busy right now. I can't do your windshield." Her face twitches like I just told her I keyed her car. "Fine," she snaps, "then stop the pump." Oh, right, she paid cash, which means she needs her change. "No problem," I say, maybe a little too cheerfully. "I'll be right back." Inside, I find my coworker Jake, who's manning the register. "Hey," I say, "I need change for pump 2, and make it memorable." He raises an eyebrow. "What does that mean?" "Loose pennies, as many as you can spare." Jake's expression shifts from confusion to glee the second I explain who it's for. Windshield lady is infamous among the staff. Without another word, he digs into the safe and starts counting out pennies, 50 of them to be exact. Now here's the thing. Our gas attendants don't have their own till. If we need change, we have to wait in line at the convenience store counter like everyone else. So there I am, standing behind 3 other customers holding $3 in bills and a fistful of pennies, while windshield lady sits in her car, probably fuming. At one point, she storms inside, glaring at everyone like we personally offended her. She must see me in line because she huffs and marches right back out. When I finally make it back to her car, she's practically vibrating with irritation. "Took you long enough," she mutters. I smile sweetly. "Sorry about that. Here's your change." Then I drop the $3 into her hand, followed by an avalanche of pennies and a few nickels, all loose, all clattering onto her palm and then onto the pavement. "Sorry," I say. Not sorry at all. "We're short on silver." Her face? Oh, her face. It was like watching a malfunctioning robot short-circuit in real time. Her mouth opened, closed, then opened again, but all that came out was a sputtering noise like Mr. Lumbergh from Office Space if he'd been stepped on. This is... "Have a great day," I chirp, already walking away. She was still stammering as she peeled out of the lot, her tires screeching for dramatic effect. I didn't catch a single coherent word, and I didn't care to. Will this stop her from coming back? Probably not. But if she does, guess what? We'll still be short on silver. Times are tough after all, and in this economy, pennies are all some people deserve. Well done. If she tries again, start by slowly and carefully cleaning the passenger side window or the back windshield. When the pump is done, dispensing the small amount of gas she bought, put the squeegee away and tell her to have a nice day. Woman, but you didn't finish the windshield. OP, you're right. There's just not enough time to clean the entire windshield during a $5 fill. I have other work to do now, but you're welcome to finish the windshield yourself. Say this in your peppiest customer service voice while walking away, ideally into the building and straight through an employees only door. And our second story. You're right. I'm the dumbest person on the planet. I'm a 20-something book-enjoying coffee drinker, so naturally I end up where the other couple million 20-something book-enjoying coffee drinkers go, my local bookstore. I'm not there frequently enough that I get recognized, but I'll do some window shopping and have a coffee every so often. They did some reorganizing a while back, and a bunch of sections got moved around, and from that came this lovely encounter. I'm browsing the new arrival displays, drinking my latte, and an older lady taps my shoulder and asks me to point her towards the romance section. I have no idea where the romance section went, but I don't see an employee to send her to, and it really isn't that big of an inconvenience to give it a shot. I start my answer with, I don't know, but, and she interrupts me. She says it's really unprofessional that I don't know where anything is. Huh? She goes on a tirade about how dumb I must be to not know where anything is, and what was the point of reorganizing the whole place if I can't even remember where things got moved. I did question at first if she thought I worked there, but I dismissed the idea because surely she couldn't be that dense. Folks, I was in a skirt and heels. I had a basket of books and a coffee. I was carrying a purse. I couldn't have looked less like an employee if I tried. I told her just as much, and she just got madder. Well, you just look like you work here. It's not my fault you're too dumb to correct people. To be honest, that hurt my feelings a little, but I realized I had a superpower no employee at that store did, the ability to walk away from angry customers. So I did. Ignoring someone never felt so good. I think she hunted down a manager and started complaining to them, but I'm not sure how she managed to identify one in the first place. A bit anticlimactic, yeah, but getting to ignore a mean customer at my actual job is my biggest fantasy, and this was the closest I've ever gotten to fulfilling it. Well, I'm not as dumb as someone who thinks a bookshop employee would be wearing heels, carrying a purse and a coffee, and have a basket of books at her feet. And our last story. The Karen at the barbecue joint, a vegan nightmare. So here's the story. I used to work at a barbecue restaurant owned by my parents. I did everything there, from dishes to bussing tables, taking orders, food prep, and even alcohol service. I've seen it all, especially during the summer when things got absolutely insane. The restaurant was a fast casual type where you order at the counter and the line would often stretch out the door. Summer brought in all kinds of people, some great, some not so much, and then, of course, there was Karen. Scene 1, a hot day with an entitled customer. It was blistering hot outside and the line was wrapped around the door. People were hustling, running around, trying to keep up with orders, and it was chaos. I was stationed at the cash register, taking orders, trying to keep everything under control. That's when Karen and her son, S, walked in. Me. Hi, how you doing? Karen. Fine. Me. What can I get started for you today? Karen. Can my son and I see the vegan menu, please? Now, for context, the menu was right behind me on the wall with every item clearly listed. We didn't have a separate vegan menu, but I figured I'd help them out since I'm vegan myself. Me. I'm sorry, ma'am, we don't have a vegan menu, but if you have any questions about other items, I can help with that. Karen. Well, what can I get here that's vegan? Side note, we're a barbecue place. Everything has meat, dairy, or is cooked with it. I get it. As a vegan, it can be frustrating, but I wasn't about to go to a barbecue joint expecting a full vegan meal. I wouldn't even bother if I knew there was nothing for me to eat. Me. Really, the only thing we have that's vegan is the side salad, and we can make it without croutons? Karen. We don't want a salad. We want something barbecued. At this point, I'm a little stumped. I can't offer what isn't on the menu, but I try to explain. Me. I'm sorry, that's the only vegan option we have here. Karen, throwing her hands up in exasperation. Well, what are we supposed to eat? The situation escalated from there. Karen, absolutely ridiculous. You don't cater to vegans or vegetarians or anyone else who doesn't eat meat. You're leaving a whole group of paying customers out. At this point, I was just trying to be as patient as possible, but Karen wasn't backing down. Me. Ma'am, I'm really sorry, but this is a barbecue place. We specialize in barbecue, not vegan food. Karen, let me speak to your manager. At this point, the line behind her was getting long and people were starting to give her looks. I'd had enough, so I went to grab my dad, who was unloading supplies from the back. I explained the situation, and I could tell he was already annoyed. He knew there was nothing we could do, but he also knew Karen wasn't going to let up. Scene 2, the showdown with my dad. My dad walks out to handle the situation. As soon as Karen hears him, she starts off with her usual tirade. Karen, we are paying customers, and it's ridiculous that you have nothing available for my son and I to eat. Dad, ma'am, I'm sorry you feel this way, but you walked into a barbecue restaurant. We don't claim to be a vegan place. We serve barbecue, ribs, brisket, etc. If you want vegan food, there's a great place down the street. Otherwise, we can offer you a big side salad, or you can head to that vegan restaurant. Karen, now screeching, how dare you talk to me like that? You're going to hear about this on Yelp. I want to speak to the owner. Dad, without missing a beat, I am the owner. At this point, her face went red. She didn't know how to respond. She screamed a few more insults, then stormed out of the restaurant, slamming the door behind her. Everyone in the restaurant was watching, and the people behind her in line gave me knowing looks. The ones who came up next all had a little chuckle, knowing exactly what had just gone down. The aftermath. So Karen stormed out and went on her way. We never saw a Yelp review from her, but she sure did give vegans a bad reputation with her entitled attitude. As for me, I was just relieved to get back to work without having to deal with any more drama from her. To this day, I still can't believe she thought she could come into a barbecue restaurant and demand vegan options that we didn't have. But hey, sometimes you just have to laugh at the absurdity of it all. If she wanted vegan barbecue, she could have Googled vegan barbecue joints nearby instead of rolling in like she was trying to make a point for a YouTube rant no one asked for. Instead, she chose to harass people just trying to survive the lunch rush in 100-degree heat. Classic. Hey guys, thank you all for watching the video. I'll see you in the next one.